All right, good day to you. My name is Fred Oakman, and as always with me today is Mr. Jake Peters. We are PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast, and this is episode 212. This is a show where we share our feelings about the current state of PlayStation. But before we get on with the show, I want to invite you all to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. YouTube.com/PS This Is Awesome. Visit us on Twitter at PS This Is Awesome. And if you want to make fun of our trophy list on the PlayStation Network, you can find me at anchorless_81 and Mr. Jake Peters at JakeSaw01. As always, you can write the show at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. And most importantly, don't forget to share the show with your friends. Make sure to leave comments, rate the shows you see fit. And as a reminder, this is a video podcast, so you can watch the show if you prefer over on our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe to that over on YouTube. For new and or long-time listeners, we now have a Patreon where you can support the show at a $1 level called the One and Only $1 Club. Head over to www.patreon.com/psthisisawesome. Become a $1 patron. Get your free die-cut vinyl sticker and a shout-out on the show like Josh Peters did. Josh has been on the show and has talked about the Dark Pictures Anthology and other games with us. So we appreciate all of our listeners, and we certainly appreciate you, Josh. And we'd love to have you back on the show, maybe to talk some Elden Ring if or when we play it. And I will note that Josh respectfully declined the die-cut vinyl sticker. When he signed up on the Patreon, he didn't give me his address, and I got it all ready. And I was like, Josh, what's your address? He goes, just save the postage. So anyhow, thank you for saving us some postage and for the $1 contribution. All right, Jake, what is going on?
Sounds to me like he's embarrassed to represent the podcast.
I didn't want to go there. He's your blood, so I thought I would let you. Just lay into him a little bit. But
maybe I'll just hand deliver it to him. Yeah, then he doesn't have any excuse.
Yeah, next time you're over for practice, grab a sticker and give it to Josh. It's one of those things where, like, I don't know what I would do with a sticker. Like, I have a merch bin, and I have a PS This Is Awesome sticker on my merch bin when I tug it around to shows and stuff. It's not like I'm skateboarding anymore. I'm not gonna put a sticker on my car. Like, a sticker's kind of one of those things, but, like, I mean, you can always smack it on your fridge like Harold did with a magnet. Boom. That was kind of cool. I got a picture of that. So you can do stuff with it. I think maybe next go around, maybe we'll make some custom magnets. That would be kind of cool.
Magnets would be cool. I know a lot of people put stickers like on their laptop and stuff like that. I never wanted to do that. Like, yeah. I love stickers.
I do too.
But I'm like against putting them on anything. That makes any sense. Yeah. Like I would put them on like my guitar case or, something like that. Yeah. But I don't know that I would ever put them on, like, there's something weird about putting here. Who are talking about, trying to shill our stickers in our Patreon.
Well, they are cool stickers. They're nice.
Fucking dope stickers. But it's like one of those things where I love the sticker because I've got a sticker similar to that. Mm-hmm. You made stickers for the band that are similar that I've had my sticker. Mm-hmm. I've been holding on to it for like 2 years now.
I'm out of them too. Yeah, they went like hotcakes.
But like I've never put it on anything because it's like, oh, well, I bought a $1,500 laptop. The last thing I want to do is stick a fucking sticker on my laptop that's gonna eventually come off and leave all this residue and shit on it. Yeah. But yeah, stickers have a place. Like in the music industry, they're everywhere. In like all the clubs that we play at and all the bars, there's like band stickers just everywhere. In the bathrooms, on the walls, like there's stickers everywhere. Like you go into recording studios, there's band stickers and stickers of shows and podcasts and stuff everywhere on the studio monitors and on the gear and on the equipment cases, on the guitar cases. It's kind of a thing that I was kind of brought up in like that DIY punk rock scene where like you just put stickers on everything. Skateboards, like I said, go to the skate park and there's stickers on the half pipe or whatever, the quarter pipe. There's just stickers. And it's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, I'm not going to put a sticker on my car, but needless to say, they're sweet stickers. It would be cool if you could, I'm sure someone has done this before, but you can make like almost like a sticker, like collage poster. Like you can make like a poster.
Oh yeah.
You just put like all your favorite stickers on it and then just like put it on your wall.
Just like some sort of board or cutout. Yeah, just slab of wood and just put all the stickers you've collected on it. That would be kind of cool. Have a sticker board, man. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, so anyways, join the Patreon and get a sticker you can do nothing with. No, I'm just kidding. Stick it on some shit, man. But yeah, they're cool. Yeah, I will say that I do have there's a rapper, he's a kind of like a nerd rapper, his name's Word Burglar, and he put out a, excuse me, he put out a record all about G.I. Joe called Welcome to Cobra Island, and it's awesome, it's really good, it's really well done, and I ordered it on vinyl recently, and it came with a Word Burglar sticker. It's like him, he looks like the Hamburglar, he's got like this thing on his face, but what do you do with it, right? So I put it on a little magnet, bam, slapped it on my fridge. It's the way to go, I think. But how are you doing this morning? We're recording the show early on Sunday morning. It's not too early. It's 8:30, but got stuff going on.
Better than expected. It's really nice here, unbelievably. So I stepped outside for a little bit with my cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Kind of just, let the breeze sink in. It's like almost 60 degrees here.
The bird songs.
Insane for March 6th.
Yeah.
I mean, don't worry. Tomorrow it's going to be like 30 degrees, so it's fine. But I'm just trying to soak in the weather while I can, because this is part of the reason why I've always said, so spring and fall are my two least favorite seasons. Spring I fucking hate, because around here it does this shit every single year. We get like 2 days in a row where it's like 70 degrees outside. And it's
awesome.
But then it's fucking 30 for the next month.
Yeah.
Until it actually becomes spring. So it does this like one or two times, and it just makes you, it like almost reinforces seasonal depression, because like you're like, oh yay, I'm almost done, but then wait, no, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, other than that, it's nice to be up early. I'm as much as I don't really like getting, I mean, I'm a morning person by force, not necessarily by
nature.
Naturally. Yeah. So, but yeah, feeling pretty good.
Good.
How about yourself?
Yeah, good. I had a 3-hour gig on Friday. Had some friends come out. That was a fun time. And then yesterday, I went and saw the Uncharted movie, Jacob. I went and saw it.
Wait, so okay, I'm going to ask you about the Uncharted movie, but
yeah,
did I see that the gig was at Big Rail?
Yeah, it's outdoors.
Isn't it like fucking freezing?
Yeah, it was like 30 degrees. I played outside for 3 hours. But
sounds horrible. Why do they do that?
We don't have to get on. They put those torpedo torches up and stuff, and yeah, I was actually warm. They had big bonfires and stuff. It was warm enough. Like I wasn't like, I could play through. My digits were moving kind of slow towards the end of the night, though. Fair
enough.
But yeah, so
the Uncharted movie.
Yeah,
what the fuck's that about?
I mean, I don't know if I should wait to talk about. I'll talk about it. I mean, it's been out long enough. I'll say a few points. I mean,
you don't have to spoil it. You can give your first impressions. I would love to do like a mini-sode on it.
We should.
But I'm not gonna, to be completely transparent to the audience, I'm not gonna see this movie until I can watch it at home.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a couple months probably before we do this.
Yeah.
But so I do want to watch it.
Yeah. First impression was, my truth be told, first impression was the new Batman movie's out also right now, and I'm like, no one's gonna be at Uncharted, so we show up at 7:00 on a Saturday night, and it's pretty damn full for Uncharted, and there's all kinds of like people who I can guarantee have no fucking clue what Uncharted is. Like the VIP section has like a ton of like 13-year-old girls. Behind me there's
Love
like
Tom Holland.
Yeah, behind me there's like at least 5 or 6 elderly couples. There's like, and then your general like middle-aged mom, dad, and like maybe the kid was like, hey, can we see Uncharted? But mom and dad had no idea what it was. Maybe the kid had no idea what it was. But this is our Spider-Man guy, right? Tom Holland's our Spider. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, does anybody here even fucking know what this is? Like, and I'm like, this is so weird. And I'm looking around, and there was one guy who went by himself, and I bet you that guy knew what Uncharted was, because he had, he looked like your regular gamer. He had like a beanie on, dressed in black. He had a hoodie on, and like middle aged, looked slightly overweight. I'm not like ripping on gamers, but like your stereotypical, like me. He looked like me.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was like, that guy knows what's up. And there are two post-credit scenes. There's one that happens right when the movie rolls, and then there's one that happens like mid-credits. I will say, first impressions, this I think is supposed to take place this takes it's hard,
Is it supposed to be before Drake's Fortune?
Yeah, this definitely takes place for the first Uncharted game. And it's not even in the game sphere. It's not canon to the game. But what's fucked up about it is they give you set pieces from all the games in this movie.
I noticed that just from the trailer.
So it's confusing for a gamer to be like, you don't want this to be part of our game world, but you're stealing all the cool shit from our games and putting it in your thing and making it your own thing. But it's not really your own thing now because you're taking part of our thing. But I do say that
I get it though.
Yeah, Tom Holland was fantastic. He was so good. I love Uncharted. If I didn't know anything about Uncharted, he sells the character. He's good. Mm-hmm. He's really good. I will say that Sam is brought up in the movie. So there's some references to Sam. How he and Sully meet is a little like they got to like their whole history stuff. They were like in and out of that right in the beginning of the movie. Like this is how they meet. Now they're together. Now they're looking for treasure. Right? They didn't waste any time on like that relationship. How he meets Sully. The thing that kind of drove and we'll get into this on our mini spoiler cast. The thing that drove me kind of crazy though is like the character of Sully, the character in general. Unless Sully is like, unless this is more of a coming of age story for Sully, like this is like such a young Sully that like it's not the Sully we recognize from the game. Because if I'm being honest, he is portrayed as kind of like a backstabber and a money hungry character, and he doesn't really give a shit about anybody else. And it's like, that's not the fucking Sully that I know, but we know an older Sully, right?
He kind of though. I mean, you kind of get the glimpse that that's like what world he came from before Drake, sure. Right? So you get kind of the idea that the only person that Sully cares about is Nathan Drake, which is pretty. I wouldn't say like I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know, but
I can't wait till you watch it.
I can see them portraying him that way if this is a pre-Drake Sully.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of an interesting thought though.
So, well, sure. by the end of the movie, he kind of shows his heart a little bit. Sully does. But Mark Wahlberg is Sully. Initial impression, he lacks the charm. He doesn't have that. His voice is like, to me, I feel like his voice is a little higher in the register. He kind of has a little bit.
Well, he doesn't have that like older guy voice.
Yeah, right. And that's what makes Sully so charming. But I get that it's a young Sully, so like we're at a juxtaposition there, right? Like I get what they're doing, and if they're going to turn this into a franchise, a movie franchise, which it looks like they are because it's apparently really successful. The movie itself.
Well, and
yeah, go ahead.
Also, I just wanted to say that the voice actor that plays Sullivan, his name is Richard McGonigal. Yeah. He's got like a pretty iconic voice too,
he does.
So like, anyway, continue.
Yeah, there's a fun cameo in the movie. I won't say what it is or who it is. You can only guess. I don't want to spoil that. And then
it's Kratos.
Kratos. They did have a really interesting opening. Like when you go to movies, there's like 15 opening, like little company introductions. Family Guy actually does a really funny, or maybe it's The Simpsons, where like Homer sits down with the family, he's watching a movie, and it has like doo-doo-doo. He's like, oh, and then it shuts off, and like Lisa's like, it's not the movie, Dad. And then like it shows doo-doo-doo-doo, this cool graphic. It's like, ooh, it's not the movie, Dad. And then it goes like 5 times in a row. So like that Sony had one, and it was cool because Aloy, there was a thing of Aloy got, Last of Us, Kratos, Nathan Drake. It wasn't the one that we're used to seeing. It seemed like it was a little more geared towards, I don't know. It wasn't the.
Well, maybe it's like the new thing that they're doing for
the
like,
Sony Pictures.
for the Sony they're doing the PlayStation Productions thing
right.
now,
That's
right?
what that
so it's
was.
like they're doing movies and TV shows for the PlayStation stuff. So maybe that's it's kind of like how Pixar has like the bouncing lamp and like
that's what that's what this was.
Yeah, so like that's cool.
Yeah,
that's actually it's neat. It means they're really leaning into it.
It was exciting.
I hope it means they're gonna make good shit.
It was exciting to see the movie. All in all, I was going to touch on Chloe real quick. Chloe was fine. We get no Elena in this one. She doesn't exist yet. I have a feeling Elena's going to come in the second one because with the Easter eggs, I'm not going to give much away, but they kind of allude to almost they're going to replicate Drake's Fortune. It seems like to a degree, characters and everything from Drake's Fortune. So I'm guessing we're going to see Elena in the next one, but. The movie altogether was good. It seemed like it lacked a lot of action, or there was a lot of talking and setup for the first half of the movie, and then there was like a really, really long action sequence. It was like 30 minutes long, and honestly, I was kind of dozing off during it, if I'm being completely honest. Like literally, not even like, oh, I was getting kind of tired. I actually caught myself like trying to like wake back. Like it was just a lot of like the CGI,
just too much,
big screen, 30-minute action scene. It was awesome, but like it's nothing that we haven't seen before in movies. It was cool to watch.
The thing, it's kind of annoying when movies do this because like the Uncharted game doesn't have action sequences that last that long.
Yeah,
and you're playing the game, so like it seems kind of weird. I think it's also that just like the older I get, the less I care about that stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, but that's, I mean, if that's the biggest problem with the movie, that's pretty good.
And there's some really good Easter eggs. There's a Naughty Dog sticker you can spy in there. If you haven't seen it yet, Drake's opening like a chest of belongings, and if you just look on the inside lid, he's got all these stickers, and there's a Naughty Dog sticker. So that was kind of a nice little tip of the hat to the developer. And then the way they kind of frame the way they set the movie up is very much like how the beginning of Uncharted 2 starts, which was a nod to Uncharted 2. So I'm just gonna say that it starts really like, oh my god, this is crazy, and then they bring it back in, and then they build up to that moment again midway through the movie, which was exactly what they do in Uncharted 2, the video game. So that was a nice nod, and it worked really well for the sake of the movie. So anyways, all in all, I liked it. I thought it was good. It's weird to say that. I thought it was good. It wasn't complete shit. There really aren't a lot of firefights. A lot of the action was more hand to hand. There was only a brief moment where guns were being shot, which is kind of interesting because in Uncharted, like, you're fucking shooting a gun at bad guys like 100% of the time.
All the time.
Really.
Yeah.
So, but Nathan Drake in this is a young Nathan. So, so it's interesting. But I recommend, if you're a fan of the series, go check it out. You may not like it, but you got to go into it with an open mind for sure, because it's not the game. But it was still a good movie. It was fine. I didn't object paying the money for it. Didn't regret it. But yeah, so let's talk about some games we're playing, Jake. I'm still working on Horizon Forbidden West. I found what I think is going to end up being like the hub for the whole game instead of just like a city. I don't know how far you are in this game. I feel like I'm taking my time with this game, but I feel like there's a new location I've unlocked that feels like it's going to be like the central area that you keep going back to.
So they introduce, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they introduce like, when you go west, there's like the new kind of clan of people that you come across. And there's like 3 kind of clans.
The Tanakh.
And like as you go west, you get into like different territories. So, and there's what, like 5 Tallnecks in this game?
Yeah,
5 or 6?
Not as many as the first one.
Not as many as the first one. So it could be that, I mean, there is probably, it wouldn't surprise me if there was a central location, kind of like Meridian in the first game, where it's like in the middle of the map, there's like one big city. And, there are little towns and cities all over the place, but like there's one big city in the middle that kind of is your sort of hub is kind of like it's not really a good way to say it, but because it's not like actually a hub, like in a hub world in the video games, but like it's like a place where you can use as sort of like a home base to kind of bounce around.
In a place that'll propel the story.
But I don't know that I don't think I've gotten there yet. I'm about, cause that's all I've been playing too. So I'm like 15 hours in. So I think I looked at my game clock this morning. I was at like 15 hours and 15 minutes, something like that.
I need to do that.
And so my thing, and I don't know if I'll peel off of this at some point, but like I'm doing like every side quest as I go.
Me too. I'm just, if there's a question mark, I go to it.
So like 9 times out of 10 when I do a story mission, I'm like fucking over leveled for it because I do all the side quests and then I move on to the next story mission. And like I just got the thing, this isn't really a spoiler. Like if you haven't played the game, you won't know what I'm talking about, but I just like maybe a couple hours ago got the thing that allows you to blow up the fire gleam stuff.
Yeah.
And like once you get that, it turns a lot of the question marks on the map that you visited into like a fire gleam thing.
Yep.
And so like I've just been going back and like doing all of those things.
Yeah.
And so I'll be honest, I am really enjoying it. There are a couple things maybe we should just talk about the one news point you had on here about them getting a big patch because
we'll do a Horizon spoiler cast down the road. That's the plan.
Yeah. So I'm not really gonna dive.
We'll
deep
top to a
into
news
it,
point then. Yeah. So it got a really big, large patch, right?
Yeah. So the one thing that I wanted to mention is that since this patch has released, I don't know if you've tried performance mode, but I think they ironed out some of those visual things so let me say this. We were arguing before about how you said that like the fidelity mode looks so much better or whatever. Sure. And I told you I couldn't really tell the difference. So that was before I got out to like the Forbidden West, where you actually go through the gate at the Daunt and you get out into the Forbidden West. And when you get out there's like a story thing that's happening, but like the map there, when you get out is just like a field of like grass, like tall grass. And in performance mode, or like, the high frame rate, 60 frame mode, or whatever you want to call it, the grass looked really like pixely as it was like blowing in the winds and stuff. Like it looked really kind of weird, and like when I switched to fidelity mode, it didn't look like that at all. So there was an obvious like difference between the two of them. And then I played this in the morning before work. And then when I got home from work, I installed this like big fucking patch for it. And then after that, I never noticed it. So it could be that, and I heard some stuff on some other podcasts and stuff about how like maybe the way that they were doing the performance mode was just not like the greatest way to do it. And it was causing some of this pixelation and stuff. Yeah. And, there were some issues with where like the particle effects and the dust and stuff would look a little bit kind of, pardon the pun, but grainy, you know what I mean? And so, but now like, dude, I'm constantly like, as I'm walking around the world, I find a spot that's got like a lot of particle effects, a lot of grass blowing, a lot of shit. And I bounce back and forth between performance mode and resolution mode. And I really can't tell the difference. There is a difference, but, and like I said, I think there is also a factor of the fact that you're playing on a much larger TV than me. So I think that makes a big difference. But I don't want to break your brain or anything, but like you should find a point that like looks really good and just bounce to performance mode just for a second. Yeah. Just to see because I'm curious, because you thought there was a huge difference and I didn't to begin with. So I'm curious if you look at it and you're like, oh, it doesn't look any different now, or it looks much more similar now. Yeah. Maybe they did fix something, because I never did look at the patch notes to see if they fixed, visuals or anything like that.
The thing that's confusing, a lot of the patch notes are like fixing quest stuff, but then there was like an other section that had a ton of extra language in there. But I did look at them, but I didn't read it all. But I wouldn't be surprised if they mixed something up a little bit. But the thing about that's so hard for me to figure out is like, as soon as you get on performance mode, because it's so buttery smooth, it makes you think that it's better. right? You're like, oh, this is so much better. And then like you got to separate the gameplay with the visual, and then vice versa. Like when you switch back, you're like, oh man, this thing doesn't play very well, but man, look how good it looks, you know? And it's like,
yeah, it's such a weird, I wish that they would have done like a middle mode, but I mean, I get it. It's probably, you know, it's probably tough to make those modes and have it like play well and look well. Yeah, I don't know. I think the game is beautiful. Yeah. Like even in the performance mode, I'm always running around just admiring the world, and like the lighting is still really good. Like usually one of the things that they chop off in performance mode is the ray tracing and all that stuff to make it run better. And I don't know if there's ray tracing in performance mode. I'm guessing not, but if there's not, it looks amazing. Like one of the things that I noticed is I was swimming across a lake or a river or something like that. And the way that the water was moving was like not around Aloy, like, cause she, you know, not like the path that she was making, but around you, like the ambient choppiness of the water was really impressive. And
the water effects are fantastic.
And like a lot of the other stuff, just like the lighting on the rocks and everything, how it like, you know, how it lights the rocks so they have like a glow to them. And it's just really, really good. The one thing that I will say is, so one positive and one negative. The positive is that I don't know that I've ever seen a game that's done such a good job of making practically anything climbable. So like if you use so in Uncharted, the classic example is on Uncharted, all of the things that you can climb are like painted yellow, right? So it's like, or like it's an obvious thing, like there's
a visual indicator
on the edge of it. Yeah, there's like a scrape on the edge of a cliff that knows that you can grab it, or like whatever. In Horizon Forbidden West, there's no indication on a cliffside of what you can climb and what you can't. But if you tap the R3, it uses the focus pulse, and it highlights lines and crosses in yellow, everything that you can grab onto. And it's like everything on the rocks. Like there are instances where it's like a cliff face or something that you can't grab a hold of it, but it's like highlighting points that would be actual handholds if you were like a rock climber. So like it's really, and you could just climb up it. It's not like it's almost like a mixture between, and Fred, I know you didn't play Immortals Phoenix Rising, and I don't think you played Breath of the Wild at all, but like it's like between Breath of the Wild, where you can literally climb up any wall, any surface, anything ever. It's like a mixture between that and Uncharted, where Uncharted is like, okay, you have these dedicated handholds, you can only climb these certain things. There's like an illusion of being able to like scale buildings and stuff like that. And like, it's like in the middle where it's like, you can climb basically anything, but it's more realistic, like Uncharted, where it's like, you have to have like a handhold to grab onto and all this kind of stuff. There's just way more of them, and it's more realistic in that sense. Which I think is really cool. The other thing, the one thing that I will, my final thought on for this week's episode update on Horizon is
the
that
episodic updates.
It's incredibly, so the one thing that I find really annoying about the combat in this game is fighting on an incline. I don't know if you've ever had this issue before, where you're on an incline and you're trying to fight a robot, and you're trying to melee them. It doesn't, like, none of the attacks line up.
That's weird.
So like you're constantly going like up and down the hill, and 9 times out of 10 I end up literally running away from the enemy and having them chase me to a flat spot so that I can fight them there, because I always get myself in this situation where I'm on like this incline and the attacks aren't lining up. And there have been instances before too where I'll do a melee attack and it'll just like swing over an enemy, like it won't hit them. And it's like, I get that I'm on a hill, but I feel like that's one of those details that maybe like the game should account for. It's like, hey, I'm making an attack and the enemy is below me. It should just know that and just like swing down, not, you know what I mean? Or like drop the character or something. But it's very rare that I have this problem. But it's one of those things where I'm just like, why am I struggling with this?
Right.
But overall, I think the game is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And then before we peel off of this and talk about resolution modes and stuff, because that's going to come up in the next news point, can I just say how fucking irritating leap lashers are? Can I just come out and say that? Like they're unbelievable.
So what do you think's irritating about
the
them?
fact that they won't leave you alone? Like, you can't get any distance between them. Like the machine,
you just gotta kill them.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you can't.
Oh, you mean that they can jump at you and stuff, and they got the little whip thing that they can.
Every time I go to knock back an arrow, like, they're on me, and I'm like drawing my bow, boom. Drawing my boom, and then I like try to hit him, and then there's like three of them. So like I finally get some distance between me and the other one, and then boom from the side, and I'm just like, God, I feel like I don't know what I feel like. I feel like I'm running the gauntlet.
Are you upgrading your melee at all?
Yeah, it's fine. And they're just so annoying.
So the thing
they're cool. One of the things like kangaroos. Go ahead.
One of the things I find, at least I know, because I haven't gotten to the point where I don't have a weapon that has tear arrows yet, which was my favorite feature of Uncharted 1.
I don't either.
Was the sharp shot bow with like super fucking awesome tear arrows, because you would shoot, like you could be hiding in the bushes,
make them vulnerable,
and you would just like let's say you're fighting a Thunderjaw, which is like the T-Rex enemy, and they've got those big cannons on them. You could literally, from hiding, just with one arrow, immediately just launch one of those things off of them. And it makes the fight so much easier. But since I don't have that, one of the things that I really have been using a lot of, especially with enemies like that, is there's a combo that's like 3 light attacks and a heavy attack, and it knocks them down.
The block
and
breaker.
Or whatever it is. Yeah. So there's a couple of them, but like that seems to help a lot. But yeah, you do sometimes with those type, especially if there's a pack of them, you get in a cycle where like you knock one down and then another one hits you before you can critical them or like whatever. Like
you just get ping ponged around by the leap lashers, man. All the other machines I think are fantastic. I think they made the leap lashers just a smidge too aggressive when they're in a pack, like just a smidge. Cause like you can't enjoy, the battle mechanics of Horizon when you're fighting them. You can't, because you're just getting knocked around. It's like, okay, everything I've learned about this game from the last game and this game, I can't use against this enemy. And they're not even supposed to be like a really hard enemy, but they are.
You gotta use the smoke bombs and go back into hiding.
Man, yeah. All right. Anyways, hey, let's talk about, there are ways to mitigate it, but it's just so annoying. And then they throw those sonar pads down that ruin your focus, those little interrupters, so then you can't even find what parts of them you need to try to shoot. Those things are way over-leveled. Yeah. Like, those things are way too difficult for the game. I don't know. I've taken down...
Funny. It's funny because, like, I don't really find them all that annoying, but there are, like, other enemies that I find annoying.
I've killed 2 Thunderjaws with not dying once. And the leap lashers will kill me every time I run into them. Like,
dude, that fucking I don't remember if there was one of these in the first game, but that giant turtle enemy is fucking
bristleback.
Cool. No. The one that's like literally a giant tortoise.
I don't know.
It's like
I've seen him.
Maybe you didn't do that side quest then. There's a side quest where you find like the Karja hunter, like the head of the hunting lodge from the first game, and she's like looking for someone, and you follow her, and you end up fighting this big turtle that like can burrow into the ground.
Oh
and,
no,
like,
I did fight that. Yeah. I did do that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And then it kind of ends because you can't get through the mountain, the quest.
Yeah. So like, I mean, we should stop talking about Horizon, but like, dude, the enemy designs in this game are so good.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They're so good. Anyway, let's talk about something else.
So you were talking about how it would be nice if Horizon had a middle resolution mode or something in between, right? So the re-release of Grand Theft Auto 5 has seen some new fantastic screenshots. And the screen grabs look really good, Jake. And honestly, after looking at the screen grabs, I'm like, man, that game was really fun. And now this game looks next level. And there will be 3 graphic modes for the new GTA 5 for Next Gen. So one will permit 60 FPS with ray tracing. So
nice.
That's going to be sick. So I was a little concerned after the the trilogy that came out, they're like, very buggy, lackluster response. And, but it looks like this is getting the royal treatment, GTA 5. It's their bread and butter, so of course it is. So I'm kind of excited to see how this plays and see how it runs on the PS5. I don't know what version we actually get for free. I think we just get GTA Online or something. We're going to get something.
I think you're right. It might be just GTA.
I don't think it's a single player, but I would like to try the single player again. But anyways, do you want to do that quick Push Square quiz? We've been doing these quizzes, test our PlayStation knowledge. Sure. We've generally done pretty well on these, Jake. So pushsquare.com has a link up, and you guys know Jake and I like to take these tests. Welcome to the PS This Is Awesome Patreon page. For those of you that don't know, my name is Fred Oakman.
And I'm Jake Peters.
And we're a PlayStation podcast currently in our 10th year. Our first episode aired in July of 2012, where we discussed and speculated on the arrival of the PS4. Over the years, we've used this podcast to take a break from adulting, share our love of video games, and in particular, PlayStation.
The audio podcast is available on all major streaming services, and we have recently made the leap to uploading video content and video podcasting to our YouTube channel, as well as the very occasional Twitter post or live stream. Over the years, we have covered everything from PS3 to PS Vita through the launches of PS4, PSVR, and now PS5. As our audience has grown over the years, we have decided to start this Patreon with the hopes of creating a medium in which we can give you the opportunity to help support our show.
And as a test bed, we're starting with a single tier. It's called the one and only $1 Club. So with your support at the $1 level, we're going to mail you a premium vinyl cut sticker and give you a shout out on the podcast. But at this time, unfortunately, we can only ship to the US and Canada. But this is subject to change depending on your interest.
So whether you're new to the show or you're a frequent flyer, we are forever thankful for your support and hope you can find it in your little gaming heart to join us in the one and only $1 Club. Until next time, like PlayStation, podcasting, and Patreon, PS, this
so
is
let's
awesome.
Jump right into it. 15 questions real quick. We're going to try to keep the podcast closer to an hour. I have some obligation. I got to go record some vocals in Pittsburgh today for a band. I'm guest vocaling on one of their records. But so it's a picture of Spider-Man, and it says, which character's face was changed for PS5 remaster of Marvel Spider-Man? It was Peter Parker. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally like showing you in the image who they replaced.
Which PlayStation console did the original Dragon Ball Z Budokai game release on?
I believe it's PS2.
Let's go PS2, man. Damn, we're right. All right, what is this monster from the Monster Hunter world? I don't know. It looks like a griffin.
Begin to tell you.
It's
let's see. Was it
Baroth, Nergijanti,
Great Gyros,
and Basil Goyce. We just butchered all those.
It looks like a griffin or something.
Yeah, the Great Gyros looks good to me.
Yeah, pick that one.
Nope, this is the Basil Goyce. All right, well, we missed that one. Never played it. All right, how many Riddler trophies are there to find in Batman Arkham City? Catwoman included. No DLC. Oh my God, there were a ton of Riddler trophies.
Holy shit.
Not trophies like PSN trophies, but like trophies in the game that you have to go collect.
I don't know about that.
I'm going to say 168. 220. So the options are 94, 168, 228, and 282. Usually 280, the highest number, is a little overkill. But then the answer usually is a larger number, but they throw a higher one in to make it not seem as crazy. I'm going to go 228. Seems like a lot, though. What do you think, Jake?
Just go for it.
No,
I literally
282. God damn.
This quiz so far has been a lot of games that like
I don't know anything about.
I don't know,
and I don't know anything about this game either. In Yakuza Kiwami, which character can ambush Kazuma Kiryu through the city? No idea. I like Goro though, because I know he's a character in that.
Sure.
Yes. Got it.
Nice.
All right. Which footballer was on the original cover of FIFA 19 before he was replaced? Neymar Jr., Cristiano Ronaldo, Kylian Mbappe. I don't know how to say his name. Mape. And then Marcos.
Mbappe, I think is how it's pronounced.
And then what's Marcos? How do you pronounce that? Reyes? Reyes? Yeah, I don't know. It's not my sport. Jake, I'll let you take a stab.
I remember. I feel like
Neymar Jr. sounds like a legit soccer player. They all do.
I mean, they all are soccer players, but
I don't even know. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like it was. I feel like they were replaced because at there was one year where one of the guys was, I thought, replaced because of a lawsuit or something like that. So maybe I don't know why my gut's telling me Ronaldo, but I don't know. Just fucking
let's go.
Pick either Ronaldo.
I'm going Ronaldo. Trust your gut. You got it. Boom. Man, we're killing it, and we don't even know. And here we go. In Mass Effect, Joker suffers from a disease called Vrolic syndrome. How does it impact Joker? Let's see what the options are. It makes his muscles lock in place. It makes his bones brittle. It stops him digesting solid food, or it paralyzes him from the waist down. Honestly, the bone brittle thing I thought was a thing, but I think it's the waist down one, right? I know he can't walk for whatever reason. So this is kind of a tricky question.
I feel like it's the brittle bones one.
That's what I was thinking.
I just fucking played this game and I can't remember.
Just had
I'm pretty sure
spoiler cast,
but I'm pretty sure it's the brittle bones, and it like makes it so like he
can't move and stuff because his bones will break.
Because it like
all right, bones brittle. Boom, got it. Good job. See, we did play the game. In the Oddworld games, what species are the gun-toting guards with robotic legs? Are they paramites, scrabs, sligs, or glucons? I think it's scrabs.
Is it scrabs?
I think it is.
Glucon sounds like a freaking robot name, but I've never played an Oddworld.
Or is Oddworld a scrab? I think he might be a scrab. I know scrab is a thing in Oddworld. I know that.
I don't remember.
Want to go glucons?
Sure.
It was sligs. We were both wrong. Just Cause 2 takes place in which fictional country? Karami,
I have no idea.
Bakudo, Panau, or Bara? I'm going to go Panau. You good with that? Panau?
Yeah. Got
it. It sounds like a fake country name. Yeah. What classic Chinese novel is the Dynasty? The Dysentery Warriors. No, the Dynasty Warriors series based on what Chinese novel? I'm
gonna guess Romance of the Three Kingdoms because that's the only one I know.
Yeah, the other options are The Plum in the Golden Vase, Rulin Waishi, Journey to the West, or Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Let's go for that one. Boom, got it. Good job, Jacob. We still got more right than we've gotten wrong so far. How many playable characters are there in Dragon's Crown? Oh, man. This is a game I really wish I could get into. It always appealed to me.
I really wanted to like this game, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get into it either.
It really sucked on the PS3, which is the last time I played it, but they have a PS5 edition, which runs like butter, I guess, and I bet you it's awesome.
I played it on the Vita.
Oh, yeah.
So
I bet the PS5 version's awesome. It's like a beat-em-up. It's an RPG.
There's the wizard, there's the archer, there's the battle chick girl.
Yep. And then there's like the woman mage, the elf. I'm gonna go 6.
You think there's that many?
Yeah, dude. There's more than 4. And I feel like if you're gonna put 5, you might as well make 6. 5's a weird number.
Can't argue with that logic, I guess.
I mean, 8 seems like a little over. Like there's too many.
It's not 8. It can't.
It's got to be 6. Got it. Yep. There you go. That's my brain logic. Correct. In what year did BioWare's co-op shooter Anthem release? 2019, 2017, 2020, or 2018? I actually don't know this.
I think it was
19?
2019. Wait, no.
It wasn't 2020. That was just 2 years ago. I bet you it was 19. It's 19 or 20.
No, it was either 18 or 19.
We both agree that 19.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
it got delayed at one point, so it's got to be 19. If you think it's 19 or 18 and I think it's 19 or 20, let's split the difference and just go 19.
Okay, my gut's telling me 18, but go ahead and pick 19.
Damn it. Yeah, 19. Got it. See? Phone a friend.
Go.
What is the full title of the Wolfenstein game that revived the series in 2014? Is it Fresh Blood, Warbringer, The New Order, or Breaking Point?
The New Order.
100%. Good job.
That image is dope.
That is a dope picture.
That game had a fucking sick reversible cover art for the game.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Hollow Knight, what's your sword-like weapon called? Nail, blade, shard, or pick? Pretty sure it's nail. I played this game a lot. I think it's nail.
Go for it. I played this game a little bit, but I never got into it.
Got it. All right, Final Fantasy 13. Lightning's overall design was influenced by which previous Final Fantasy protagonist? Titus, Cloud Strife, Squall Leonhart, or Cecil Harvey? I'm going to say Cloud.
I was going to
Titus.
say...
She looks like Titus in the picture.
Does she, though?
I think she does. What were you going to say?
It can't be Squall Lenhart, because Squall was like a fucking biker dude.
I don't even believe Cecil Harvey is a character.
Cecil...
What a terrible name.
I don't even remember Cecil.
Cloud or Titus? Cloud or Titus?
That's a tough one. I don't know. Go with your gut. Pick Titus if that's what you think.
Fuck, it's Cloud. We still got 11 out of 15. It says, wow, you should get a job at Push Square. We'll just keep stealing your content for our podcast. Your news stories. All right. Thank you, Push Square, for the awesome quiz. Appreciate the news. And let's go back to...
Man, that one was tough because, like, a lot of those, I had never played any of those games.
We did better than we had any right to do on that one. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next point of news. Elden Ring is making tons of waves right now. Everywhere I go, it's Elden Ring this, Elden Ring that, Elden Ring this. There was a Thai commercial for Elden Ring posted on the Push Square site, and they're like, hey, this is just a little insight, a little glimpse into how other cultures promote video games and stuff. This was like a 2-minute long video game commercial for Elden Ring that was just so weird to me, just because of the cultural disconnect that I have, I guess. But it starts off with like a family sitting down to eat, right? And then the grandma or somebody drops this ring and it shatters on the floor. And they're like, what did you do? You know? And then one thing leads to another, and it's this guy sitting in a taxi cab, and he's reminiscing back on his childhood, and he's riding on like this ride. It looks like a rocking chair, but it looks like it also could be a horse. But they don't cut gameplay in. It's just that. And then he's like playing with fake plastic swords with his friend. And then like there was some other, he's like talking to like an Elden tree, and he's like saying, oh, you know, doing like a prayer at the Elden tree in their culture or something like that. And it's all this stuff. And then he gets out of the cab, and it's 2 minutes of this. He gets out of the cab, so on the cab ride, he's remembering all these fond moments of his childhood. And then he gets out of the cab, and then it's dark, and he's looking around, and then there's a family, and then there's this ring on the table, and one person puts their hand on it, and they're like, I'm the husband, and someone's like, well, I'm the wife, and then someone's like, it's my family tree, and someone else puts their hands on the other hands, like, it's my blah, 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 and then the guy who was in the cab steps in the room, and he goes, stop, and they all look at him, and he goes, where's Grandma? And they're like, we haven't seen Grandma for a while, and Grandma shows up, and then she goes, don't worry, I'll be here for when the blah, 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 blah happens. And then it cuts to gameplay, and it's all Elden Ring, like them battling demons and stuff. And it's like, Elden Ring. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what the fuck? What did I just watch? Like, I don't understand the tie-in, but it's definitely a funny commercial if you can find it. Funny to us, you know, just seems so, such a strange way to advertise for a game like Elden Ring. Like, you know, I didn't, maybe it's based on heirlooms, and you got to pick up shattered pieces of the ring, I guess, you know, and that's what it's about. I don't know if it's like different characters are part of a family lineage. You know, maybe when you, I don't know, do you respawn in this game? How does it work when you die? Do you pick a new character, or what the hell happens?
No, I mean you don't. I mean, it's not permadeath, but you just
Weird.
If it's like all the other ones, I mean, you basically just keep going. It's just that you lose all of your resources. So it's like when you die, you have to like go back to where you started, and you lose all your resources.
Yeah.
I mean, in the other games, it's souls or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is in Elden Ring, but
I was waiting for it to take a weird turn where like all these memories had like flashed before his eyes, and you know, all of a sudden, like, he's like the character in Elden Ring, you know, and he's getting killed, and then he's like coming back to life or whatever. You know, I thought it was going to be a play on that, but it was just like, they're just around the dinner table, and then she comes out of nowhere, and it's like, oh yeah, essentially when the apocalypse happens, don't worry, family, I'll still be here. And it's Elden Ring, all this shit. Like, I don't know. It's fucking weird,
that's
man.
really interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move forward. Sifu, it has broken 1 million in sales. Not $1 million. I believe they had 1 million sales of the game. They've sold 1 million
That's
copies.
pretty impressive for fucking Sifu.
Yeah, and it's getting a new patch to fix some camera issues and add Mandarin voiceover. So, very cool. Good on Sifu. I'm still really curious about this game. I think I'll wait for it to go on sale. I think eventually we might see this as a PS Plus offering. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
a year, 2 years from now.
So I just to jump back one news point, I talked to my brother, and he did say that he was gonna buy Elden Ring. So
we'll have some,
but he wants to get through Horizon first because he's playing it as well. So it'll be interesting to see. We might actually get a chance to talk about it. It just won't be like when it's in the zeitgeist. It'll be in a little while.
Well, at least we'll be able to offer that to the listener, so that's good. Yeah. I'm apologizing. I just don't have an interest in playing that game, you know. And I
wonder what. So is it still Metacritic.com games? Let's see. Elden Ring is still at a 97 on PS5. Wow. That is fucking stupid.
It's bonkers.
It should not be that.
I mean, I haven't played it.
There's no way. I'm sorry. There's no fucking way this game is a 97. I get that people love it, blah, 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 blah. But from my understanding, it's got like, you know, some technical issues and things like that. It runs kind of shitty on some platforms, especially on
the
PC,
Souls
I guess.
fans are ride or die, man. They're just going to jump right on this shit and just promote the hell out of it and say good things. But like the weird thing about...
I mean, good for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I mean, we're that way about a lot of stuff, you know. You know, maybe not even game related, you know. I'm ride or die about music, dude. But yeah, it's the thing that I think is the greatest tragedy about all of the attention that Elden Ring is getting is almost the lack of spotlight the Horizon is getting.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it does suck because Horizon is, I mean,
it's fucking great. Horizon 2 is so good.
I would say that, you know, there's the problem with the gaming community is that like Elden Ring is a game for like fucking gamers, right? People that are into hardcore games are into games like Elden Ring. I'm not saying all hardcore gamers are into games like Elden Ring. I just mean like if you are really into Elden Ring, then you're probably like a fucking gamer. I don't know. I can't imagine like a casual like fucking Call of Duty Madden guy like broing down on fucking Elden Ring. It just doesn't seem possible.
But it happens. Here's what's weird. So let me just throw this anecdote in real quick. This little tidbit of info that I have. There's a guy that I supervise at work. And he goes to me. He's not a big gamer. He loves the Souls games. Just loves them. He doesn't play any other fucking games. He just loves those. And I get the impression that he really enjoys being a bully in those games and just fucking with people. Like when he jumps into their worlds. Like that was his thing. He loved just like making the game difficult for other people. Like he was like a troll, and he would always tell me about how much fun it is to get up there and just fuck with people's progress. I'm
guessing he's not like the norm though.
I don't know, but like maybe. So he asked me, he goes, "Dude, are you getting Elden Ring?" And I'm like, "No, man, I'm not interested." He goes, "Oh, that's weird." He goes, "You know," he goes, "I wonder if it's a crossplay. Like maybe we could like somehow get in each other's worlds and stuff." Because he's an Xbox gamer. And I'm like, man, I don't think so. I don't know if it is. I don't know. But, you know. And
I feel like I don't know this for a fact, but I thought I was reading that Elden Ring was a little bit more directly co-op. Like in the other games, it was like you had to like use some fucking potion to like call somebody into your game when you needed them, but it was only like for a limited time. And like, I don't know, it's really weird like that. But I guess I don't really know that for sure. But I'm really interested in it. I think that like every From Software game that I've played has been really good. I liked Demon Souls. I liked Bloodborne. Those are the only two I played. But yeah, it's just one of those things where like I just didn't have the patience for it. And so I'm curious about Elden Ring, because it might provide just like the freedom of the open world might provide enough sort of motivation to kind of like in freedom to allow me to kind of do things my own way. But it still boils down to the fact that like the enemies that you fight are challenging and like you are still going to struggle to get through certain areas. But I don't know. I'm super interested in it. I just don't know if I'm
just so sad that Horizon's not getting. I feel like it's not. Yeah,
you're right.
It's just attention, you know.
Well, I guess that's we kind of shot off there on a tangent, but like I agree with you. I think that it's really sucks that Horizon. I don't know that it's as bad as you think it is, though, because what I was trying to drive at earlier was that I think that the reason why the news is all fucking Elden Ring is because all that we're really reading are like Push Square and shit like that, where it's like, you know, this is like websites for gamers. So, you know, I would say that Horizon is going to be the TV game. You know what I mean? That's the game that's going to be like commercials, casual players, kids and adults alike are going to play this game. So we won't know for a couple of months how it impacts the sales.
We haven't heard anything about the sales of this game yet, have we? Horizon?
I don't think so.
Which is
I don't
know. Like usually Sony's quick to brag, like saying, "Oh man, this thing did fucking move this many units the first week," you know. But we haven't seen anything.
I'd be kind of interesting. I mean, they maybe made a mistake. They did get out first, so that should have given them an edge, right? They got out.
It's a big game, though. People know
Elden Ring.
Yeah, they know it's going to take time to play. People know. Gamers know. People know.
So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I agree with you. I hope that it didn't kill. There's no way it killed fucking Horizon, but I do feel like it probably did eat into it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. That's just the nature of the business, I guess. Hey, and then we're gonna do two more news points, and then we're gonna go over the new games, and then we're gonna bounce because I got to get to the studio here pretty soon. So I apologize for the shorter podcast, but I'll tell you what, we almost had a weird podcast where I was just gonna bring on a guest because we were trying to work our schedules out, and we didn't want to delay one. But I'm glad that we were able to do it, Jake. So the last two news points is they're completely overhauling and changing all of the maps for Battlefield 2042. This game just failed completely. The gamers didn't like it. I don't know if it was a map issue. I don't know if it was a gameplay issue. I don't know what the issue was. I personally preferred Battlefield over Call of Duty in general, but I didn't dip my toes into 2042, and there was some speculation even that it might be just going free to play at some point because it did so poorly to try to get some players on board. But I haven't
really
played it.
Shit the bed with that game.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It really shit the bed with it, which sucks because like they had all the opportunity in the world to make it right. Now, like we talked about last week, it sounds like Call of Duty is not going to have a release in 2023. So that's plenty of time if freaking DICE and EA what they really should do is just put their head down and come up with like a dope ass fucking campaign and a dope ass like update to their multiplayer and release it in 2023 under like a new package or something, and then just try to steal the thunder. If there's no new Call of Duty, like they're probably going to come out with the new Warzone or whatever next year, which is going to be hard to compete with because it's free to play.
Yeah,
but they have an opportunity next year to like this year was the year. Like Vanguard wasn't doing very well, and Halo was there, but it was like a couple months later. So they could have really tried to steal the thunder here.
2023 would be the year because there's no Call of Duty.
2023. This is very rare that like a team has like 2 chances in a few years to be able to like steal the Call of Duty's thunder, and like now they actually have another chance.
But they're just working on 2042, so.
But yeah, who knows?
Well, I guess there's 2 more things we want to talk about real quick. And then I just want to say that there's a free visual novel for Ghostwire Tokyo, and it serves as a nice entry into the setting and vibe of Ghostwire Tokyo. You can get it on the PSN and check it out. I guess it's.
Did you fuck with it?
No, I didn't mess with it. No, but it's out there, and it's just a free visual novel you can download and run it on your console and just kind of get an idea what this game's going to be about. And I think it's cool they're offering that. You know, I know a lot of times like
it is pretty neat.
Games will do like a comic book series before they come out. I know the Tomb Raider. We gave one Tomb Raider comic out once on the show. Tomb Raider #1, I think, it was a reboot for the video game. Uncharted had some comic books put out by Dark Horse, and The Last of Us also did. But to have like a visual novel for Ghostwire Tokyo, I don't think it's a bad idea to try to rope some people in that way. So I might check it out. It's free. Just download it and watch it. So and then
that's really neat. I mean, I'm optimistic about I'm cautiously optimistic about this game because I do think it looks cool, but I just don't know about the combat. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. And then briefly, we would be remiss not to mention all the shit that's going on in Ukraine right now, with Putin being a big asshole and killing tons of innocent people, and just fucking shit up over there. And there are game studios over there. I did a little research on this. It kind of segues into the video game world a little bit, which is so irrelevant compared to the greater picture of what's going on over there. My heart goes out to everybody there in Ukraine, and I'm sure Jake's does as well. And what a fucked up situation. But just to say that there are, I'm sure there's more studios than this, but the ones that I was able to find off the bat looking was GSC Game World. They're known for the Stalker series. 4A Studios, now owned by Saber Interactive, are known for the Metro games. They actually started their studio in Kyiv. And then Frogwares, known for the Sherlock Holmes games and the Sinking City, are also in Kyiv. Mobile game developer Gameloft has 2 studios in the Ukraine. Vostok Games is out there. And then Ubisoft has a really big studio in Kyiv, which I think do a lot of quality control. So if you think that this shit isn't going to affect the game industry to some degrees, then you're just you're sleeping under a rock, because it definitely is. And it's affecting the world on a greater level. But heart goes out to everybody out there. I mean, that's just it's a fucking shit show.
Yeah, it's like one of those. This is one of those things that's happening in the world where everyone's just kind of looking around at each other, being like, "Is this really fucking happening right now?" Like, is Russia literally invading a first world country right now? Like, this is shit that, our generation,
we've never seen this.
It, like, and I don't want to take anything away from, the wars that have happened 100%. In the Middle East and stuff like that. There's nothing to say.
There's always war.
That like there's anything less about the wars that happen there and stuff. But those, like, when we're talking about the U.S. fighting in the Middle East, that was more like of a war against terrorism. It wasn't like somebody invading another country to try and take it over as their own. And so this is like the last time that the last time that this was a thing was what, like fucking Korea or like World War II. I mean, this isn't a thing that happens all the time. And pardon me if my history is not very good, but like, it's just, like I know there was some shit with the Vietnam War and stuff where, it's North and South Vietnam, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's just insane to me. And like, I think that it's amazing that all of these big companies and stuff are coming out and they're just like saying, sorry, we're no longer selling our shit in Russia. Like Apple said, like, we're no longer selling our shit in Russia.
Yeah.
I know a lot of other, like I'm obviously a big hockey fan, and there are teams that play in the KHL, which is like this, like the KHL, which is primarily based in Russia, is the second largest hockey league in the world, like after the NHL. And like most people that want to play at the highest level that can't quite make the NHL go play in the KHL. And there are teams that have just straight up, my curtain just fell down.
That's fun.
There's teams that have just straight up been like, fuck it, we're out. And they just literally withdrew from the Continental Hockey League. And that's pretty cool. And I just saw before we started the podcast that Microsoft, I think, is going to halt all sales in Russia of like Xbox and all that stuff. I don't think we've heard anything from Sony yet. Hopefully they do the right thing. But like the thing that sucks about this is the Russian people are not the Russian government. So I feel bad for the Russian people who are not able to get, their PS5s or whatever, or their Xboxes or their iPhones. But like, those people need to be able to put pressure on their government so that their government stops doing crazy shit like this. And, I know it's hard. It's easy for me to be fucking armchair revolutionist over here because in the United States, I can literally walk up to my politicians and say, fuck you. And they don't do anything about it because we live in a free country. Whereas in Russia, if you're gay, they throw you in prison. So it's really unfortunate. It sucks so bad in the fact you have to imagine. Could you imagine being like a Russian soldier?
Fuck no. They don't even know what's going on.
Like,
I don't know. I don't know shit about this as far as what they know or what they don't know. But I've seen some things, and with all the hacking and all the weird fucking information you get on the internet now, everybody, it's a cyber war, and it's a very physical war, and it's a very deadly war, and it's a bad situation. But I saw some video footage of what were to be Russian soldiers calling their parents who had been captured, and they were saying, we were told we were on a like some sort of a mission that wasn't a peacekeeping mission, is what he was telling his mom. And he goes, Mom, we were the aggressors. We didn't know we were. We got sent into the Ukraine and we were the aggressors. Now, granted, I don't speak Russian. I don't know if he was a Russian soldier, but the translation indicated that this guy had no fucking clue, and is just a young 20-year-old kid that got sent out to go murder and kill a ton of Ukrainians, being told by his government that he was going there to help them, essentially. Yeah. So it's a fucked situation.
It's just so bizarre to me. Like, you would think that Putin would be like, okay, compared to fucking Russia, no, this doesn't need to be a political podcast. No. We don't have to go on this forever. But like, compared to Russia, Ukraine is so small. Yeah. Like, why? Like, you would think that just from like a PR perspective, just let them fucking go.
Yeah.
And just do your own thing. I mean, who cares if you lose this little piece? It's not like they're coming and taking more pieces of Russia. They're just trying to be their own country, which they've been for the last 30 years.
It's just Putin wanting to swing his dick around and be a power struggle and leave a legacy behind is all it is. And like it's just so it's like, it's insane to me. Like, I'm literally like, because Putin's just like, he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, we're just waltzing in. This is our country. We're just, I saw this, and
it's like, what?
I don't 100% agree with this, but I saw a statement somewhere, and it wasn't even pertinent to this. It was like, the most dangerous person is a humiliated person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can believe that.
And I believe that. And I feel that like he has now been completely humiliated on the world stage. And again, support to Ukraine. I will say, because you asked about this, if PlayStation has done anything, but I know that it looks like the deputy prime minister of Ukraine did tweet at Xbox and PlayStation and said, you're definitely aware of what is happening in Ukraine right now. Russia declared war not for Ukraine, but for all civilized world. If you support human values, you should live You should live. I think it should say you should leave the Russian market. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, there's a request from the Ukraine straight up to Sony and to Xbox saying, pull your fucking shit, please. You know, do what you can to help. So it's interesting. I don't know if Sony has yet, but that being said, let's get on to another thing real quick, and then I do have to go because I got to drive to Pittsburgh. We will talk more about this next episode, and it might be a topic for the show. Epic Games has purchased Bandcamp. And this is...
What?
Yes, this is interesting. Epic Games now owns Bandcamp. So,
okay, yeah, we're just gonna have to fucking put a pin in that because
that's a huge fucking thing.
I literally do not understand what you just told me.
Yeah, it happened. It happened. We'll do a little research over the week. We'll come back with some commentary on it. It's not even necessarily PlayStation related, but it could have some undertows with. I have made the connection already. Of
I've got to think about
streaming music and streaming games, and it's fucking weird that Epic Games just bought almost the biggest music distributor for independent musicians, bought them out. So they own Bandcamp. So there's a fucking parallel here, and I'm telling everybody. And I also told everybody, I was looking at reviews of Horizon. I think I was one of the first to say it. Let me just come out there and say this, that the animations and the blinking and the fucking one-on-ones with the AIs, people were noticing, like, the character art and the fucking faces are so much better in Horizon 2. Anyways,
they gotta do just one.
All right, make it quick.
They gotta do something about Aloy's hair. Like, why is it always flying all over the place? I don't fucking. It's like she lives in like zero gravity. Anyway, continue.
Weird. All right, go ahead. New games coming out. Breathage on PS5. Alex 2. We already talked about that one. Far Changing Tides. Did we already talk about all these? Babylon's Fall, Disco Canyon, Gran Turismo 7, Music Racer Ultimate. I don't think it's the same list. It's a lot of the same ones. So, LX2, Far Changing Tide, Shadow Warrior 3, Babylon's Fall, Disco Canyon Airlines, Gran Turismo 7, and Music Racer Ultimate. So, I guess that's that. And I will say that there is a game coming out on Switch that, again, I won't have an opportunity to play, but I really want to play it. It's Triangle Strategy.
Oh, Triangle Strategy. Yeah, it's the follow-up to for the Octopath Traveler Studio.
Same art style too, and we didn't get Octopath yet
looks
either.
Dope.
So I don't know if we're going to get those, but that game looks sweet. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in to episode 212 of PS. This is awesome. Sorry that we're rushing through the tail end of this. I got places to be, songs to sing, friends to make, and business to do. So Jake, anything before we leave?
No, I am going to probably go outside because it's fucking beautiful out. And even if it just means standing in my driveway and soaking in the sun.
And I love how subjective that is, too, because there's someone in Florida listening to our podcast, and we're like, dude, it's so fucking beautiful here. And it's like 60 degrees, and the sun's poking through the clouds. And it's going to rain all day also. But it is. It feels fucking good. I agree with you. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks a lot, everybody. Like I said, we'll talk more about that Epic Games thing on the next show. So, like Uncharted, Undead Nightmare, and Ultimate Fishing Simulator. P.S.
P.S.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.